Hi friends! I am really excited about today's video. My name is Jacqueline. If you're new here, welcome. If not, welcome back. I have been really wanting my home to feel way more cozy, and the perfect time to do that is during the fall season with these DIYs that will be turning into a gallery wall for my bedroom. So let's go ahead and begin. The first one that I want to start with is a framed picture, and I picked up this frame from the thrift store. I got it for $1.50, but I really liked this one because it came with a mat. And then I picked up some fabric from Dollar Tree, and I want to add the fabric to the actual, like, not the frame part, but the mat part. I think would be really cool. The first thing that I need to do though is clean this because it was from the thrift store, so it is very dusty and not so clean. So I'm just going to lay it down and do kind of probably about an inch extra spacing around the outside so that I can glue it down and around through the edges. So I'll probably cut about here. And then I'm just going to also cut the edges. So a little bit away from the actual edge. There won't be so much bulk on the edges so that it can be a little cleaner. Okay, and then I'm just going to kind of fold this in a tiny bit and then fold it over when I do the edges. Okay, perfect. Now, oh, I probably should have ironed that, but oh well. I did not. Okay, now I'm just going to go ahead and cut. We're going to cut just a little X, but not going all the way to the edge. Just right up to the edge, but not quite on the edge. Then we're just going to fold over and glue this down as well. I'm just going to cut off some of this little excess instead of folding it over, but you probably could fold it over just like you do with Christmas wrapping. Okay, yay, that is so cute. I love how it turned out. And I'm just going to add a little leaf to the center right here. And my plan was definitely to use a real leaf, but of course the real leaves are still very green. So I opted for a fake leaf, and I honestly think the coloring was perfect. And because I do probably want to do a relief later on, I'm not going to glue it down. I'm just going to add a little bit of tape to the back side and then add this to the picture frame so that it doesn't slide around. But that way, when I do get a real leaf, I can just add that to the cardstock instead of having it glued down. Or maybe I can just add the glass on top. I still need to clean this off a little bit more, but maybe I can just add the glass and it should stay in place. Maybe. I love how this is turning out. Okay, cute. That's so cute. I love it. Okay, for this next one, I'm actually really excited. I saw this image of this leaf that has like fabric and kind of like a patchwork design, and I thought it would be really cute to do with this decor sign that I got from Dollar Tree, except for instead of doing the Hello Fall, either I can take this off or I can just do it on the back side, which is probably what I'm going to do because laziness. But I think this would be really cute to do with a bunch of Dollar Tree ribbon. So I've got some Dollar Tree ribbon and then just some ribbon from my stash. And some of the ribbon does have like wire on the edges. So I'm just going to cut off some of the wire as well. And then once I've got the pieces and the sizing that I want, I can then go ahead and glue them down to the piece of paper. And I'm probably just going to be using some tacky glue for that. After I glued the paper down to the wood with just some of that tacky glue, I now have it finished and it is so cute. I'm thinking that I can just put it on the wall with this little hole that's there, just with a nail probably, or maybe a thumbtack. But you could also add a string, put a hole through and add a string, but I think it'll look a little better without the string because I do plan to do like a tapestry too, and I think that one will have a string on it. So this one I'm going to leave as is, but I love the way it turned out. I think it is so cute. Okay, I forgot to put my mic on, but I've got it on now. So let me tell you and show you what I've done. So I cut off the pumpkin in half from Dollar Tree. These come in usually some like white foam or not green, orange. I'm just gathering up some ribbon and some macrame and some rope and other ribbons that I got from Dollar Tree, some mesh that I am going to be adding to this pumpkin to kind of give like a textured pumpkin look. And I think it would look really cool as like a 3D version to this gallery wall. I also took off I don't even know where I put it. I think I put it, oh, right here. I took off the stem from this pumpkin right here, just also from Dollar Tree because I like this stem versus the stems that usually come with these foam ones. So I took that off and we're going to use that when this is all decorated and done. And I am going to be using the tacky glue instead of a glue gun because my glue gun is high temperature and it will in fact melt the foam. So I don't want it to melt. So we're just going to see if this tacky glue will be secure enough to secure all of these pieces down. This ribbon is so cute. Oh, I love that. Okay, now I'm thinking probably that's plenty. And if I curl it, should be good, right? I mean, you lose the design for sure, but the coloring is very pretty in there. Yeah, I think that's cute. And it kind of stays because of the wiring on the outside, which is wonderful. Okay, now we just need to glue it down. One of the worst parts about the tacky glue instead of the hot glue is that it takes a little longer to dry. So these pieces kind of need to hold them down in order to get them to like tack themselves down before I can like pull away from them, or like you keep seeing is the bottom just keeps pulling back up. So this is going to take a little longer doing it this way, but it's better than the whole thing melting. I've got this piece done. And I'm thinking that I'm going to add this cute button that's pretty big to the bottom side so that I can cover up kind of the ends or the edges of like some of the material so that when I'm putting it on the wall, it doesn't quite look so, I don't know, ugly. And I do have one pin down here that I tried to keep this one secure while it was drying. And I'm just going to use some hot glue now to the bottom, just because it's mostly going to be on the actual ribbons and not on the foam. And then for the top, we'll go ahead and stick this little piece back in. and it's not perfect, but I think it is pretty dang cute. Look at that. Yay. Okay, this next one is actually because I wanted to do some tattoos for like the fall bedroom uh, decorating that I'm going to be doing probably the next video, but I got some tattoos for a couple of those projects, and I thought it would be really fun to add all of these tattoos to a black canvas that I got from Dollar Tree. I originally was going to paint it black, and then I saw that Dollar Tree had some, so I picked up this one, and it isn't laying super flat, but I think it should be okay still. I'm thinking I like these ones. Honestly, there's so many cute ones. And I'm gonna do, I think I'm just gonna lay them down all over, just kind of overlapping, well, not overlapping each other, but just like overlapping the canvas a little bit. Now, I obviously haven't tried these on the black canvas, so I don't know if they're going to show up super well, but I'm thinking they should be okay. So we're hoping that they're going to look good. Should we start with this one in the middle? Sure, why not? There, everything is wet. I'll leave that for a second. And I'm just kind of bending it over the canvas as I'm doing it, so that hopefully it worked, I think. Sweet! Oh, we can barely see it on that black canvas. But I don't know, is that kind of cool to not be able to see it fully? Let's see what this one looks like. I'm not sure. I'll finish these and see how I'm feeling about it after. Okay, it's cute, but it's not like, wow, this is incredible kind of an idea. So then I got out my beads thinking maybe I can embroider like a leaf on it. Like an outline of a leaf would be really cute. Then I saw that I had these that I picked up years ago for another project that I never ended up doing. So what if I glued these on? I think that would look really cute, especially with the black. I think it like gives it a really pretty pop of color. Not pop of color, but the pop of gold with the black looks really pretty together. It's not revolutionary by any means, but it's simple and cute. For this next DIY, I thought it would be really cute to crochet a little tapestry. I'm thinking a mushroom just because I've got lots of leaves and pumpkins already on the display. So I'm thinking a crocheted little tapestry kind of design, except for I'm not going to do it in the like traditional tapestry crochet way. I think I'm just going to do like a single crocheted little rectangle, and then I saw a girl do some like cross stitch onto a like sweater, and I thought it was so cool and so unique. So she did it, she like crocheted the sweater and then did cross stitch on top of it for this really cool design. And I think that would be really cool to do for this, either cross stitch or just like embroidery. I'm thinking the mushroom might look cuter in embroidery kind of style. So I might do that, but first let's go ahead and find the little stick that we need for the actual project itself. Okay, so I've got the wood box out, and I for sure thought that I had some like little dowels that would work for this, but they're tiny. They're so little. I was thinking they were going to be a lot longer. So the only ones that I've really got are these super small ones, which I don't think will work just because they're just a little too thin. what I think would be really cool is to find a stick outside, but it's currently like 9 or 10 o'clock at night, so I'm not thinking that's going to be happening. Maybe I can just do one of these pieces. This bag is actually just an old like Home Depot little project that my little brother was about to throw out, and I was like, hey, can I steal some of that wood? Because I figured it would be easy and perfect for like little projects that I've got, just because it's got like little pieces here and there that I figured would be perfect for little projects. So I'm thinking this might work. Just do, it won't look quite as nice as a circle, but honestly, I think it'll be fine. So we're going to do that one. Okay, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to add little loops, kind of like you do in knitting, onto this as if it's a knitting needle, and then I'll crochet, probably just single crochets all the way down. And this is the yarn that I decided that I was going to use just for the base, but I do want it to be thick, so I'm going to double it up by doing both, the center pull, maybe if I can get to the center without pulling the whole thing out, my goodness. All right, the center pull, and then also do the outer pull to double it up. All right, so I'm going to start with a little slip knot, and I'm leaving quite a long tail so I can weave it in. Then gotta make sure that I'm actually getting the right size. Then pulling this one through. And then let's see, I haven't knitted in so long, so let's see if I remember even how to do this. Let's see, I go do, and then down back through. Maybe. I think that was it. So wrap it from my thumb to my pointer, have this on this hand, and then I go down under my thumb one and up over the in-between one, and then kind of loosen it from both of those fingers and pull. So now I'm just going to start crocheting. This would be the one. So there's like a little, I don't even know, I guess that's a chain kind of in between there that we're gonna make a chain. And I'm gonna pull through and then kind of chain one, and then do the same with the next piece. And then now I've got the two on, so I can do a single crochet, and I'm gonna just continue with a single crochet all the way, maybe. And you know how I said that we were going to weave this in? I like to do it right now instead of weaving at the end, just because I hate doing that. So I'm not going to. So instead, I just kind of hold it against the little stitches right here, and then we're going to stitch over it. So we'll go into the next stitch and do our single crochet. And that is now over top of that and kind of inside of that next stitch. So then we can grab our next one, and it's that little weave part is sitting all right on top. And we're just going to go through and do our stitch. And that's just now going to be on top of all of those other ones and kind of like encased in the other like rows or row on top of it. All right, now that I've gotten to the edge of that first row, I can just go ahead and do single crochets all the way back down to the next row. So I'll go ahead and chain one and flip my work and do a single crochet again, just like you would with a normal crochet now. Okay, I'm going to come back when I'm thinking probably 10 to 15 rows, depending on how long they get. All right, I think that's the length that I want to do it. So now I'm just going to be adding some tassels. I'm first going to just fasten this off, I did kind of a chain already, and I'm just going to cut and pull that through. So for each tassel, I've got this yarn already doubled up, right? So I'm probably going to go about a foot, maybe 12 inches. Let's see, probably what, around there. And then double that. And then I've got that piece, right? And I'm just going to go ahead and insert, or like half it, and then insert it into that first one with the hook. Oops. And then make that little loop and pull all of them through. And then tighten it. And that gives a cute little tassel. And now this end does need to be weaved in, or you can add it to that other one. But of course I did not do that. So let's go ahead and add it real quick. This one will be a little thicker than the other ones, but I think that'll be fine. Okay, and then we can go ahead and cut those ends that are looped. And then we're going to continue that for all of those 18 stitches. Now that the tassels are done, it's time for the actual mushroom. So this is what I'm thinking for the actual color, just like an orange, and then some cream as a little stem. So I think that I'm gonna sneeze. Oh, are you coming to get me because it's time for bed, babe? It is pretty late, and I was thinking about going to bed, and my dog literally just came in and looked at me and kind of gave me the like, are we going to bed? It's late look. So I may see how far I get with this. I may end up going to bed, but I'm thinking about using just these like little needle things. I don't know what they're called, yarn needles, I think. And I'm just going to be using one of these to weave in and out to kind of give that embroidered look. And I'm just going to grab some yarn and then go ahead and do that. I went to the lake this weekend and I ended up finding some cute sticks that I think would probably work a little bit better than that wood piece. So I'm going to take this wood piece off and hopefully it'll be fine. Now, I wasn't sure what size I would really need because I didn't have this piece with me. And I'm kind of thinking that this piece might be a tad too big for all of the sections. Oh, actually, maybe it's perfect. Okay, let's go ahead and try this one because I do like this stick a little bit better than the other one. Okay, yeah, I do think the stick looks better, and now I'm just going to go ahead and add some more. I can't decide if I'm going to go ahead and use the same ribbon, or I do have some lace that I think would be really cute to add some just lace ribbon around here. I think it's done. It is kind of simple. So I'm wondering, do I add a little bit of green and do some like grass down at the bottom, just like little pieces, maybe with some like dark green? I do have a lighter green as well, but I can't decide. Do I keep it or do I add the grass? Let me know in the comments below. Okay, that's cute. That makes me so happy and actually feels like fall already in my room. Ah, I can't wait for the makeover in the rest of the room next week. But this already makes me so happy. Yay!